Have you ever felt something shift in someone you love? Something you couldn't quite explain? Maybe it was a soft quietness replacing their usual spark, or a sudden need to be alone when they once craved company. You tell yourself it's just age, just tiredness. But deep down, something doesn't feel the same. Months before the end of life, the body, mind, and spirit often begin to speak in subtle, powerful ways. Not with alarms or warnings, but with small moments, easily overlooked, that carry deep meaning. In today's video, we're going to uncover 6 powerful signs that many elderly people show in the final 6 months of life. These signs aren't always medical. Some are emotional, others are deeply personal. And while they may seem ordinary, they often hold quiet truths about what's to come. This isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to help you notice, to support those you love more fully, and to understand that the end of life can be approached not with fear, but with presence, love, and dignity. If someone close to you has changed in ways you don't understand, or if you've ever wondered what these shifts could mean, you're not alone. Stay with me. What you learn today might bring you the clarity and peace you've been searching for. And if this message resonates with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. It helps others discover this content and lets us keep sharing heartfelt stories and supportive insights with those who need it most. Sign 1. A gentle rise before the farewell. It often begins with a moment that feels like hope. After days or even weeks of fatigue, silence, or confusion, suddenly, there's light. A conversation sparks. A laugh returns. Appetite wakes up. You see a glimpse of the person you remember. And for a short while, everything feels okay again. This moment is known in hospice care as a rally, a temporary return of clarity, strength, or energy that can appear weeks or even months before the end. It's a phenomenon that has puzzled and comforted families for generations. Take Eleanor, a soft-spoken grandmother who had spent most of her days sleeping. One evening, she asked to sit on the porch. She requested tea. She smiled as her son read to her. And just for that evening, she was present. Sharp, almost radiant. Her family called relatives. They believed she was turning a corner. But what many don't realize is that this return is often the body's final offering, a last wave before the tide rolls out. Why does this happen? Doctors believe it's a combination of internal chemistry shifts and the release of end-of-life energy reserves. The body may no longer be fighting. The mind may feel peaceful. Pain may briefly subside. It's not a trick, it's a transition. And while it may feel confusing or bittersweet, it's also a gift. It's a window to be fully present, to say things that matter, to hold a hand a little longer, to share silence without fear. If you ever witness this gentle surge in someone near the end of life, try not to rush in with false hope or fear. Instead, take it as a sacred moment, one that calls not for fixing, but for feeling. Because sometimes the most powerful goodbyes are not said in words, but in presence. Sign 2. The quiet retreat from the world. At first, it's subtle. A missed phone call. A dinner declined. A once social parent choosing the corner of the room instead of the center of conversation. You tell yourself they're just tired or not in the mood. But then it happens again and again. This gentle withdrawal isn't rejection. It's not bitterness. It's something deeper. As the end of life approaches, many elderly people begin to turn inward. Their energy shifts away from social interaction and focuses more on reflection, stillness, and rest. It's not sadness, it's preparation. Take Mr. Leonard, 81, who used to host Sunday dinners without fail. For years, his home was filled with laughter, stories, and music. But in his final months, Leonard began canceling more often. He stopped answering group texts. Eventually, he told his daughter, "I just want the quiet now." He wasn't upset. He wasn't afraid. He was simply at peace with stillness. From a medical perspective, this withdrawal is partly physical. The body is conserving energy. Even joyful interaction can feel exhausting. Emotionally, it may also be a form of gentle detachment, a subconscious way to ease the process of letting go. And yet, to family and friends, this can feel painful. We interpret the silence as distance. But what if we saw it as a different kind of connection? One that doesn't rely on conversation, but presence. You don't have to fill the space with words. Just sitting together, listening to music, holding a hand. That's often what matters most in this chapter of life. So when someone you love begins pulling away, resist the urge to cheer them up or bring them back. Instead, follow their pace, honor the quiet, let them lead. Because in those quiet spaces, some of the most meaningful goodbyes are already being said. Sign 3. Drifting between worlds. Changes in sleep and awareness. It often begins with small shifts. An afternoon nap that stretches into evening. A long pause mid-conversation. Waking up disoriented, unsure whether it's day or night. At first, these changes seem harmless, a natural part of aging, perhaps. But over time, they reveal something more profound. In the final 6 months of life, the body begins to follow a different rhythm. Not the rhythm of the clock, but the rhythm of release. This change is more than sleepiness. It's a slow transition into deeper states of rest, as the body conserves energy and begins to disengage from the constant demands of the external world. Clara, age 87, used to be an early riser, up before sunrise, always busy with her garden. But in her final months, she began sleeping through the morning, then through the afternoon. When she was awake, she often seemed lost in thought or distant. Her family worried, but her hospice nurse gently explained, "She's preparing. Her body knows what it's doing." This state of drifting in and out of wakefulness is not unusual. It reflects the slowing of internal systems. The brain's sleep-wake cycle begins to dissolve. Awareness comes and goes, like waves on a shore. There may be vivid dreams, quiet murmurs to people who aren't in the room, even moments of talking to long-past loved ones. These experiences, while confusing to observers, are often peaceful to the person living them. And while this can be emotionally difficult for family members, especially when their loved one seems gone, even while physically present, it's important to remember, this is not something to fix. This is the body speaking in the language of transition. It is not about absence, but transformation. A slow letting go of the day-to-day, and a gentle turning inward towards something beyond. If you notice these changes, don't panic. Don't force alertness or try to keep them with you longer. Just be there. Sit quietly. Place your hand on theirs. Let them drift. Sometimes, the most powerful form of love in these moments is simply staying beside them while they dream. Sign 4. When the plate stays full, a changing relationship with food. Food is love. It's tradition, comfort, and care, all served on a plate. So when someone you love begins eating less, skipping meals, or quietly pushing away their favorite dish, it can feel heartbreaking. You wonder if they're upset. You try to tempt them with treats. You plead, "Just one more bite." But sometimes, in the final 6 months of life, the body gently says, No more. This change is not rejection. It's not stubbornness. It's biology. As the body begins to shut down, its need for fuel declines. Digestion becomes harder. Appetite fades. Even the scent of once-loved meals can become overwhelming. What used to nourish now simply feels unnecessary or even unpleasant. Marjorie, 85, had always been the heart of the kitchen. Her soups were legendary, and her holiday pies brought generations together. But in her final season, she stopped cooking, then stopped eating. Eventually, she began sipping only warm tea and asking for crushed ice. Her daughter, worried and confused, tried to coax her with memories and favorite recipes. But Marjorie just smiled softly and said, "I'm not hungry, sweetheart. I'm just full in other ways now." From a caregiving perspective, this is one of the most difficult changes to accept. We associate food with life, with strength, and when someone refuses it, we fear they're giving up. But here's the truth. They're not giving up, they're letting go. At this stage, the focus should shift from nutrition to comfort. A spoonful of something soothing, a sip of broth. Even just sharing a mealtime moment without pressure can mean more than calories ever could. This is a time to listen to the body's wisdom, not override it. Honor their signals, respect their pace. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do isn't feeding their body. It's feeding their spirit with patience, presence, and gentle understanding. Sign 5. The hands grow cold. A quiet shift in circulation. It's a detail so small, you might miss it at first. A blanket pulled higher than usual. Socks worn to bed, even on warm nights. Fingers that feel cooler when you hold them. To some, these signs seem insignificant, just part of aging. But in the final 6 months of life, the body's priorities quietly shift, and those cool hands may be trying to tell you something. As the heart begins to slow and circulation decreases, the body instinctively redirects energy toward its vital organs. The outer parts, the hands, feet, and legs, are gently left behind in that process. You may notice that the skin becomes pale or takes on a bluish or mottled tone. The touch is different, cooler, more fragile. But this change isn't painful. It's not dangerous. It's natural. Henry, 79, once loved his morning ritual, coffee in hand, sitting on the porch, feeling the sun. But as his health declined, his daughter noticed that he'd stopped going outside. When asked, he simply said, "My fingers don't warm up like they used to." She began placing his mug between his palms, just to give him that familiar comfort. Later, hospice care explained, this coolness wasn't from the weather. It was from within. His body was conserving its energy, protecting his core, letting go of the edges. This moment, while difficult to witness, is not something that needs to be corrected with heaters or medication. Instead, it's a time to offer gentle comfort, soft socks, warm blankets, and the warmth of your presence. For many families, holding a loved one's cold hand becomes a sacred act. Not because you're trying to fix something, but because in that quiet touch you're saying, "I'm here. You're not alone." And truly, that is what matters most. Sign 6. A calm you didn't expect, emotional peace or spiritual clarity. Sometimes, the most unexpected sign isn't physical at all. It's a softening, a stillness, a sudden peace in someone who once carried so much weight, worry, regret, restlessness. You hear it in their voice. You see it in their eyes. There's a gentleness that wasn't there before. In the final months of life, many people begin to experience what caregivers call emotional release or spiritual clarity. It's not about religion. It's not about belief. It's something deeper, something internal that doesn't always have words. Adele, age 84, had spent years fearing death. She kept everything tightly controlled: her schedule, her home, even her emotions. But one morning, after a quiet nap, she turned to her daughter and whispered, "I think it's okay now. I feel ready." That day, she listened to her favorite music, laughed at an old joke, and let her family sit beside her without saying much at all. That peace didn't mean she wasn't afraid. It didn't mean she had all the answers. It simply meant she had stopped resisting. In these moments, you may hear your loved one speak in new ways about seeing light, feeling the presence of someone long gone, or sensing that they're being watched over. They may begin to reflect, to reach out to others, to offer forgiveness or ask for it. These experiences aren't hallucinations. They've been observed across cultures, faiths, and generations. Many hospice workers call it nearing death awareness, a window into something beyond what we can measure. And while it may be hard for us to understand, for them it often brings a profound sense of comfort. If you witness this peace, don't question it. Don't pull them back into the noise of the world. Just be with them in it. Let the stillness settle. Let the love flow. Because in these sacred moments between holding on and letting go, there's a truth that needs no explanation, only presence. As we come to the end of this video, take a quiet moment to breathe. The 6 signs we've explored today, while gentle, even ordinary at times, carry a deep truth. The body, the heart, and the spirit all know how to say goodbye. Often, it's the world around them that maybe you recognized one of these signs in someone you love. Or perhaps you saw a glimpse of your own journey reflected here. Either way, I hope this video offered more than information. I hope it brought you clarity, comfort, and a deeper sense of peace. Because when we know what to look for, we can stop fearing what's coming and start being fully present in what is. And if this video touched your heart, please take a moment to like it. Not just if you'd like to continue walking this path with us, exploring aging, life transitions, and the deep wisdom that comes with it. I invite and turn, you're not alone. You are part of a community that values presence, dignity, and love, especially in life's most delicate chapters. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring.